the Aichi prefecture has been very important to me for a long time. It's actually where my advanced ceramic practice began. I've known the town of Tokoname since 2004, when I was a much younger potter. And I really identified not as an artist, but as a potter. And I came here under my instructor's advice to advance my knowledge of ceramics, but to also see a different part of the world. And so it was interesting that Tokyo wasn't my point of origin, or Kyoto or Osaka. It was Tokoname, and it was the Aichi prefecture. And it was so much like the way that I understood my growing up summers in Mississippi. It was rural, it was quiet, and the city had seen its best days. I feel like it's still a place that has so much to offer. I'm glad to be here. For years, when I would say to Japanese people that I was coming to Tokoname, they would be really shocked. And in some cases, they could say like, "Oh, Aichi," But I was really delighted that almost 20 years after coming here first, that I was invited to be a part of Still Alive, and that in a way contemporary art was coming to Aichi, and that it wasn't just about craft, but it was recognizing that art and craft were synonymous, and that the creativity that happened in this prefecture was important to the world, and that the world should know about this place. So I felt really honored that Mame would consider me, and I was excited to invite them back to what I felt was my hometown. This exhibition is super interesting for me because it unites two or three things that I really love. I love seeing buildings that have potential brought back to their potential. So restoration in that sense felt good. And the restoration of the Murari house feels like a kind of gift back to Tokoname. And then two of my favorite historical characters. One is W.E.B. Du Bois, the other is Agnes Martin. And I feel really honored to use their work as a kind of a sounding board and a jumping off point for neon works that are in the house. These neons are reflections on very key works of theirs. In Du Bois's case, it was a series of diagrams, statistical diagrams that he did at the turn of the century. And with Agnes Martin, it was a series of kind of conceptual paintings that she had done. So the house is filled with these neon works. And in addition, I decided that I would bring a collection of albums from Chicago. The albums were owned by a woman named Marva Jolly, who was a potter that was also very important to me. She was a Black lesbian Chicago potter. And she allowed me to use her studio when I was a young guy. Marva has since passed, and I was given her collection by her partner. And because I knew Marva always wanted to come to Japan, I thought, why don't I bring the albums as a way of allowing Marva to be present with me while I experienced this amazing city.